Well, good morning, my friends. Welcome to Moorea, the beautiful island in front of Tahiti in French Polynesia. I'm going to be teaching you how to make sourdough bread using the sourdough starter. This is what you need in order to get your sourdough going. You have to feed it like every day, maybe every other day. There's how it looks like now. There's not very much in here, so I need to put a little bit of flour and water in. That's all it takes to make it. So I'll put in some flour, just a little scoop like that, and some water, and I'll stir that up a little bit. Not too watery.
Mama.
You want to have almost maybe a toothpaste consistency. And can you zoom in there and look at that? Mix it all in nice and good. And what we have to do...
Mama.
There we go. That's good. Nothing too crazy. It doesn't have to be like super specific. No measuring things out or anything. Put a lid on that. Lightly on there. Let it breathe a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And then you put that on top of the fridge. We wait a few hours. We let it activate. The way this was made was by putting water and yeast and just leaving the lid off and letting yeast come in from the environment, and eventually over days and feeding it flour and water every day, eventually you form yeast and it makes bubbles in there. So we're going to come back later and we're going to see some bubbles. Hopefully it'll expand. It'll go from here to about here. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. Let's check on the state of this. And you can see there's a little bit of bubbling in there. It's still kind of liquidy. Not a huge amount. It'll have an aroma to it. Let's feed it. Just a little bit of fresh water, not too much. Alright, let's let that sit for longer. Okay, it's been about half a day now. Let's look at our sourdough starter, otherwise known as levain. And you look see how we have these bubbles in there. It's looking nice and thick. It's expanded up a bunch. That means our sourdough starter is ready to use. Okay, small video issue, but I think this is a better view for you. Here's our 800 grams of flour. Here's 50 grams. This is 40 centiliters of liquid. So put that up. Oh, I almost forgot to add my salt. Usually I add the salt in earlier than this. I'll do a few turns of that. It's kind of important. You probably should not use iodized salt. Do not use iodized salt, just regular old sea salt. I use this rock salt, and I put it in the mill. Just whatever amount of that, whatever feels right to you. I always like to have a little more salt than less salt. Then we put in our sourdough starter, which is looking great. You look at all the bubbles in there, you can see how active it is. These are living organisms inside there. And now, since I just poured a bunch out, now is a good time to use some of my extra flour to feed the sourdough starter. A little bit of that in there. And I'll stir this back up, then I'll put it back above the refrigerator to use in a couple days. You can also store this in the refrigerator and feed it once a week if you don't make bread very often. You have to take it out about 2 days beforehand. Alright, now we will mix this. We can use a spoon to get started here. Hey baby bear! Baby bear! You wanna come say hi? Oh, hi! Alright, back to mixing. Back to mixing. You see how this is coming together? It looks like it's gonna be super dry and that this will never come together fully. It seems like there's not enough water, but trust me, there is. It seems to get more. Yeah, thank you. Oh, is this funny? It seems to get more moist when you leave it. Yeah, you see? Here, we've got our dough. So what we'll have to do is, once we got all this together, we just keep it back in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. But we'll put the lid on. And we'll leave that for 15 minutes, half an hour, and we're going to come back and make a fold. Hi! Alright, let's do our first bit of stretching. You'll probably notice that the dough has expanded a little bit. And now we just need to get in there, slowly, just lightly touch it. Here what we're trying to do is scratch the gluten. Just fold that over. We don't want to move it around too much. We don't want the gluten to tear. Just want to gently fold it, and that's it. And now put the lid back on, and we come back. You just don't want to pull it too hard. You want to like slowly let it stretch out and not like pull it apart. But there you go. I've already stretched it. I'm going to be back in 30 minutes.
Okay. Hi, we're back. Look at this. You see how this
See, you see how that tore right there, like that? See if I pull it up, it tears. It's not ready yet. That means we need to let it do its thing a little bit longer. Alright. Alright. Hello again. Well, it's been a couple hours now, and we can see the development of our dough. And now probably seems like good enough time to put it in the bowls, and then we'll put it in the fridge. So, 2 bowls here. I'm going to cut this into 2. So but you need some tight woven fabric. This fabric's okay, but there's like a little bit of fuzz on there. You don't want that. You want like a good, nice fabric that the dough doesn't really stick it to. You put that over your bowl. I got 1 and 2 bits of this fabric. What we want to do here is get these things ready. Here you can see a little bit of flour and stuff from the last time I used it. So what we want to do is use some of our remaining flour, and we just want to sprinkle that around here a bit. You want to sprinkle it around here a little bit so the dough doesn't stick to there. And also, I like to take some of this polenta again. Use that, put a little bit of that in there as well. Okay. Now I'm going to take my dough and I'm going to cut it into 2. That's the idea anyway. So, it's a nice tension there. It's something like this. Okay, that's cool. Now, put that face down into there. Maybe I'll take just a little bit more flour, put it around the edges. This is going to continue to ferment. The yeast is going to create little air bubbles in there and allow it to rise. And that'll create a nice spread. So, do this again. Now, we're going to wrap these these up very loosely. Just don't want them to totally dry out. Now, if you have a plastic bag around, it's generally good to put them inside of a plastic bag, but we'll just do it like this. Stick them in the refrigerator over here. That's where they'll stay overnight.
Fire.